your concept of yourself is not what you would like it to be, don't discard it. Change it. Actually change it and actually feel yourself to be the man you would like to be. What would it be like if it were true? Just what would it be like? I speak here so often about states of consciousness. Do you know what a state of consciousness is? It's a mood. Just a mood. What would the feeling, what would the mood be like if it were true? If I were the man that I would like to be, what would the feeling be like? And were it true, how would I see the world? And how would the world see me? Well, that's a mood. That's a state. You enter that state and abide in it, dwell in it, and live in it. It may not come tonight or tomorrow morning, but if you remain faithful to that state, to that mood, it will actually externalize itself in your world. And you will move from wherever you are, if you don't like what you are, to where you want to be. It works that way.
Teaching my dog how to use a nail file. Oh, this is interesting. Oh, you mean there's a nail file for dogs? Ha! Oh my god! I didn't know this. It's very wonderful, surprising. Oh, English people have tools for almost everything. Oh, here you use tools and knives to cut their nails. Or sometimes you don't.
Like the most magical creatures that you will come across on your spiritual path. They represent the fact that you have officially crossed over into your desired reality. Dragonflies are known to be able to fly in and out of higher dimensions, different realms. So if they are connecting with you, they are letting you know that you have that same power. So when you come
I don't know if this is making sense to anybody here, but it's not making sense to me because this SpaceX Starship rocket that Elon Musk just did, check it out first. Then we're going to talk about this thing.
Yes.
Whoa! Oh my God.
That was the booster. Okay, I see three things here. The first thing that I see is that you are trying to break the firmament. Now, I know you know that it's nothing but water on top of the firmament according to the Bible. Okay, he split water on top of the firmament and water on the bottom of the firmament. So if you're trying to break the firmament, then what I really need to understand is, are you trying to just kill everybody? What exactly are you trying to do? So if you break it and nothing but water comes in and just drowns everybody, then what exactly are you trying to do? You're not God. Since you're so much trying to pretend like God and that God does not exist, let me help you actually showing that he do exist and that his word is correct. Yes. Okay, that's one. Then number two, this kind of reminds me of the Tower of Babel. What you think? I think it really do. They kept on trying to build a tower as high as possible to reach God.
That's right.
They were trying to be God. They was trying to reach and say, no, we're going to be God. We're going to go all the way up to God.
And we're going to show him.
And what did God do? He tore that thing down.
Yes, he did. He knocked it
He
down.
changed all the languages and he tore that thing down.
That's right.
Oh, so please stop. Because see, everybody ain't asked for what you trying to give. Okay. We don't need you building no tower. We don't need you trying to get out of the firmament.
No.
You are not as powerful as God. So stop. Okay. Now three. I really think that the government got some explaining to do.
I do too.
A lot of explaining to do because what I really want to know now, since we can't get out the firmament, okay, is how did you land on the moon if the moon is out the firmament? And how did you land? And how do you know that we're going around the sun if you've never been out the firmament? And also, how do you know that there's planets millions and millions and million miles away if you never got out the firmament? Why is it satellites that you say that's in space, that's outside of the firmament? How is that? Because you never got out. You teach this in our schools. You teach this to our children.
Yes.
And I really think that you owe us an explanation.
Yes.
For the lies that you have been making.
Make it plain.
Make it plain. Make it plain. Okay? Because we all know that God is real.
That's
and
right.
you cannot defeat him.
That's right.
So please stop. Please stop.
We're looking for an answer.
An answer. Thanks.
Huh. What do you think about all this? Good.
Okay, check this bird out. He gets shot and his mates fly away, right? That his mates don't even try and help him. He just got shocked by 35,000 or 85,000 volts, and he's still alive. This is one tough bird. I don't know what species of bird this is, but damn, I wouldn't want to mess with this bird.
Oh my god! Oh! It can withhold all that shock!
Don't you go outside that fence, it's not there anymore. That's it, stay there. Good girl. Don't go outside the fence. That's not there. Look at her. How good is she?
It's just the fence being there.
Good girl, Luce. You can chase him, but inside the fence it's not there. Good girl. Oh, look at her stayed in there. She's a good girl.
Watch this video with me. This is some creepy stuff.
A web-like substance falling from the skies across the area. That sticky and fluffy substance we were telling you about has been seen in Monterey, Santa Cruz, and San Benito counties this morning. It's like spider silk, but that has not been confirmed to be the source.
If you stepped outside today, you may have noticed this sticky web-like substance falling from the sky in the Central Coast. Viewers from all across our area have been sharing these photos and videos of it with us.
This sounds like something straight out of a horror movie. Spiders falling from the sky across California's Central Coast.
Disturbing story here. Hundreds of birds are dead after slamming into McCormick Place. It happened overnight. The Tribune reporting nearly 1,000 birds died after colliding with that building.
An unusual situation at McCormick Place today. Nearly 1,000 birds found dead.
This is not a science project. These rows and rows of birds you see pictured here met their death in Chicago Wednesday night while making their migratory journey to the south.
Take a look at the sky tonight between 7:30 and 8 in the evening. A day before the eclipse, we're seeing reports of this.
This is a weird world we live in right now. Y'all better be ready for Jesus.
Oh my god! That's creepy!
Okay, now how do you get copper charged water? This is a great question. I have a thermos. I purchased this from Amazon. I'm not trying to pump Amazon, but I got this from Amazon and I fill this up overnight. The next day, I just sip it slowly. And because it's copper, the copper is actually retained in the bottle, and that's how you're getting some copper. I do have a glass that I ordered as well, and we have a pitcher for drinking water. Generally with this one, I will fill it overnight, cover it, and then we drink it the next day. I have to say that I used to color my hair every 3 weeks. Now it's been every 6 weeks, and I also noticed that my eyebrows aren't turning as white that quick. So it's working. It's been over 4 months now, but I still have to continue. I'll keep you posted.
Oh, what's interesting? I didn't know about Oh my god, this is this.
ما هو هذا الطير؟
أعد مرة ثانية. أذكر عكسك.
اللي يعرف الطير هذا يقول لنا يرسل نسمة.
اسم الطير هذا.
Oh, wow.
I go this long without knowing that I have a tongue tie.
Yeah, girl, same here. So if you want to know if you have one, you open your mouth and try to touch the tongue to the roof of your mouth. That thing that's holding my tongue down, that's a tongue tie. And I didn't know this little tongue tie can cause so many issues like speech impediment, tight shoulders, TMJ, yes, and a bunch of other issues too. And I didn't even know I had one until now. So has anybody gotten their snipped and seen improvements? Like, should I even consider that? What do I do?
Is that thing called a tongue tie? I doubt. Oh my god, what's this? Someone's child is stepping on someone's grandfather. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, please. With those parents that are watching, please teach your children love and respect and caring and living with people in peace. You see? That's how it should be, you guys out there. But thanks to this young man here. He's a good man, and he has dignity and self-respect. And he has decided to show the child's mother what it feels like. Exactly what has happened to that old man. And it's not right. Please, people, be loving to one another and caring and respect. You see? That way people can live in harmony and peace, and the world can be full of good vibes. Big up to all parents out there. Teach your children well. You see, you are loved.
I want to tell you why your own cash is going to be very hard to find or to access in 2024. Even if you have that cash in the bank, it's going to be very hard for you to access it. And this is the reason why it's very important right now. You be aware of this, and you take the measures which you can be able to take, because you're going to remember this video. Now, one is the reason of the falling labor market. We have what is called the AI takeover. If you've noticed, everything right now is being taken over by AI. The job market, the services, the goods, the packagings, and everything. Like, for example, we saw just most of the companies around, they're closing up. Like in Mombasa, we have EPZ, which the owners were saying, okay, well, we need to take it to Ethiopia or maybe close it up, or because it's become very hard for companies now to run in competition with other companies which are also running their services using AI. So if others are manufacturing their things using technology, then you yourself, how are you going to produce all these things? It's going to be so difficult for you if you do not have the same AI. So most companies are closing or opting out and getting into the AI world in production and services and all that. So the falling labor market is going to affect most people next year. And again, we have the increase of debt globally. Every country right now is in debt. Our country is in debt, your country is in debt, everywhere there is debt. But then I don't want to talk about who we are owing the money, because of course that's obvious. We all know the whole issue, and that one is a matter of conspiracy. You have to go to BitChute.com to go and see those things, because that's where those are the places where censorship is a little bit low, and you'll be able to understand these things. But that's not my point. My point is right now we have increase of debt globally, and this one is going to affect people so much, because with this debt, then it's going to mean that most of the money that is produced through tax of every country is going to paying the debt. So you're going to see less and less money get into your banks and into your pockets, because it's going to pay different debts. And just check the whole of Africa is the same thing which is happening. People are struggling. And the other thing is because of the digitization of the whole world. The whole world is going digital. We see there's so many things about digital which are happening right now. And most people are talking about digital this, digital that, digital this. Even we see the digital IDs are coming up. And why are all these things being pushed? Well, if I get too deep into this, it's going to make my channel to be blocked. But let me just give you a hint on why the digital economy is coming. It is because, think of it, you don't pay taxes, for example, or maybe you have done something which is wrong that the government doesn't want you to do. It doesn't matter if it is right or wrong. You know, government nowadays sets the rules. And maybe they have said that they want you to allow your son to be a daughter, for example, your child to transition himself to becoming this, and you refuse. Do you know they have a right to deduct some money from your account coming the next few years which are going to come? They'll be able to do anything and give you a fine, and there's nothing you can do about it. Right now we can complain and make noise and say, oh, I don't want this, I don't want this. Yes, but a time is coming. All your debts, all your payments will be done automatically. They will not care about anything. And again, we see banks are collapsing. And if banks are collapsing, we see the reason for them collapsing is because they have high interest rates. These interest rates are being caused by, of course, different governments demanding too much from every institution, that now banks have to give very high interest rates. And this one means that people are going to opt out from the banks, and then the banks are going to collapse because the banks do not have their own money. They only expect that the people will bring their own money, and then they get money from that, and they can do whatever they do. That's how banks make money. But now if the interest rates from different governments are too high, then how are the banks going to survive? That's going to be a big problem. So many are going to fall. And just look at what happened in Greece about a couple of years back. You just go to an ATM, you try to remove money, there is no money in the bank. You go and yap and yell on the bank managers, and he tells you, we don't have money. It's just like that, there is no money. You understand? So this is something which soon and very soon, you have to watch out and be aware. And again, citizens no longer trust their governments. And this one, soon and very soon, might end up causing issues like what we have seen in West Africa, riots and things like that. Because if you don't trust your leader, then in most cases, you're going to want to kick him out and bring someone who is better, because most of the governments are literally just sending the citizens into debt and more debt, and their hands are tied. Let me tell you, most of these leaders, their hands are tied. Why? Because there are agreements that they have made and they have to fulfill them. And these agreements, just to say a little bit, they are in the dark world. They are in the dark world. And if you're really a spiritual person, you'll understand this. And if you're really a deep thinker and someone who reads deep, you will understand that you can never be a president today unless you're in the underworld. Take that to the bank. So what do you need to do? What do you need to do in 2024 and the days are coming ahead? So, one, you need to get out of the cities. Get out of the cities, stay away from the major cities, because major cities is going to really be so much rough. And at least out of the cities, you can be out of the matrix. You can buy somewhere and, you can do your own small farming. You can do some few things. Before they get hold of the people in the bush, it's going to be a little bit hard. And as long as you can eat and survive, don't push yourself into the cities, because that's where all drama is going to be happening. And number two is reduce your expenses, especially on liabilities. Avoid liabilities, buying liabilities, things that you do not need. You're buying a new microwave and you have another one. You're buying this and you have this one. People, when you check their houses, they're full of clutter. Please reduce your clutter, resell your clutter and buy what is important, especially assets. And number three, instead of saving cash, just buy assets. Very, very important. Don't save your cash in the bank. Go and buy an asset, something that can add value, like it can be a piece of land, it can be this and that. Don't just heap your money on the bank and say, oh, look at my bank balance. You're going to be surprised, because inflation is becoming so much that with this kind of inflation, even if you save 1 million, by the time you pick it, it's going to be 600K. So how is it going to help you? So save your money in investments. And again, avoid all debts and clear those that you have. Debts are very bad. Even the Bible says in the book of Proverbs chapter 22 verse 7, the person who has a debt is a slave to the lender. Absolutely. The reason why Africa, we are still in problem is because we owe those people so much debt. We have taken so much than we can chew. And now we are suffering for it. Like here in Kenya, most of the big companies which are owned by the government, they're being sold out. The port is being sold out. Even the monuments, KICC, the Kenya Petroleum pipelines, everything, they're being sold out. Even if, yes, there are court cases which are still holding things, but we know very well all these court cases are just, a picture to cool down the people, and then they continue with their things. They're selling everything, and it's not in Kenya only. It's everywhere in the whole world. It's like that. So get out of debt and stay away from the cities and get your money away from the bank and stay as far as you can from the matrix, because the matrix is a prison of the mind. Get out from that. Stop waiting for things to be done for you by the government. Do your own things and start thinking or doing things the old way, our ancestors' way, and you're going to survive. The coming years are going to be tough. Hope this one made some sense to you.
Oh, where you come from? Is that this issue of inflation and debt and tough times, tough economic times, because here is critical. Oh my God! Wow! Like, no, what is this? Is this what? Some sand, some chemical? What is that thing? Oh my God! I didn't like to know.
That is so... I threw myself on the massage.
Oh, that's a very correct joke.
Honestly, cotton candy dissolves in water very quickly. Well, let's see if we can figure out what cotton candy would look like if it could get wet. And to do that, we're going to use a liquid that doesn't dissolve the sugar. Liquid nitrogen. Sure, there are probably some other liquids that would work for this, but I like this one and I have some. Since it doesn't dissolve, we can see what it looks like when submerged in the liquid. Look at that. It's just kind of wet. We can also take it out and see that it's just dripping. Splat. That is what wet cotton candy would look like. There are actually some foods you can put in liquid nitrogen and then eat, but cotton candy is not one of them. If I tried, it would basically hold the liquid nitrogen against the skin in my mouth, causing it to freeze burn instantly. It's not very safe. So what's going to happen to the liquid nitrogen-soaked cotton candy if we put it in the water? Follow to find out.
What do you think could happen? Please leave a
The
comment.
Lost Gospel of Thomas, it literally says, when these two become one, when thought and emotion become one, then you'll say to the mountain, move, and the mountain will move. And I used to think that that was a metaphor. I was in the monasteries in Tibet, and I asked him a question. He's the new young abbot. He's already in his mid-80s. And I asked him a question, and I said, what is the force in your tradition, in your belief system? What is the force that connects the universe? What's the force that holds everything together? And through the translator, he answered me with one word, and I thought I heard it incorrectly. And I said, would you do that again? And he came back and he answered me with one word, and he said, compassion. And I said, well, wait a minute. I said, is compassion a force that holds everything together, or is it a feeling that we experience in our bodies? And he said, yes. And that was very powerful for me to understand that, because it says that we have the ability to feel in our bodies the stuff that holds this universe together. And we're really not so different from those quantum particles in the stars beyond us, or in the tumor that's in front of us, in the suffering of our loved ones, or in the peace between the nations. It's all part of the same thing.
In the Lost Gospel of Thomas, Jesus said, whoever finds the interpretation of these sayings will not experience death. This ebook will unveil that for you, and ye shall know the truth, and truth shall set you free. Check the link in our bio.
In this last video, a man from Poland is walking through a secluded forest when he finds an abandoned house. However, there's something about this place that doesn't seem right. Oddly, for some reason, the owners of this house had left most of their stuff behind. It's as if they had left in a hurry. Not sure as to why there were still things inside, the man walks around with caution, thinking that someone might still be there. But as he checks out the place, things take a terrifying turn. Watch.
stories for clicking and watching these videos. You are loved and respected. You see, sometimes I'm amazed by other wonderful humans and the guts they have and how they can go to incredible limits like this guy here that just went to explore an abandoned house in the forest. Can you imagine just how that sounds? An abandoned house in the forest. Anyway, much love to all humans out there, man. Even to the courageous ones like that wonderful human out there. Because a lot of people in such a situation, like myself, I find an abandoned house in the woods. You see now that could be the first red flag and indication for me to go back home. Anyway, much love to everybody, man. You are all loved and respected. Watch these videos kindly and help spread this message of love. Good vibes.
Are you friends with future you? Because if you're not friends with future you, you are literally ruining your own.
There's research to support this. Let me explain. Oh my God, I love talking about future you so much, and it will really help. Okay, so there is research that finds that people who are more in touch with their future selves, like it feels real to you, they tend to make better decisions in the present. So we all tend to engage in something called temporal discounting. It's where you undervalue future rewards for the sake of poor decisions in the present. So for example, it's the reason why we overspend in the moment or we overeat. We almost feel like those pounds are going to go to a future person, or those money problems are going to go to a future person, right? Like she's far off. She is not us, right? But that would be incorrect, okay? And so they've done studies to test this. They did one study with kids in a college math class, I believe. They took half of them and they showed them an age progressed image of themselves. And the other group, they did not. The ones who saw an age progressed image of themselves had better grades and report enjoying the class more, right? They did it again with people who they challenged to save money for retirement. They showed half the group the age progressed image, so on and so forth. Of those two groups, the ones who saw the age progressed image of themselves saved more money. Because when we feel less distance between who we are today and our future self, and we don't see her as like a third party, objective, different, separate person, but instead us, like now, those people who feel more connected make better decisions in the present. The reason this gets me so excited is because I'm a friendship coach and educator. Yes, it's a real job, okay? So I study what the research has to say specifically about women's cooperation, communication, and conflict. So we start every program session talking about our future selves, right? Because if you feel connected to her, and I can walk you through exercises to help you feel more connected to her, you're going to make better decisions about your friendships today. So a lot of us, when we think about, us 20 years from now and the friendships we'll have, we have this ideal image like, oh, I'll be with friends who just understand me and we'll be supporting each other and making time for one another. And we'll just be like laughing, and I'll have friendships that I really want, not that I feel burdened by. Okay, well, that woman is you now. What are you doing today to make those friendships materialize? If you're saying in the future you're going to be like a woman who's socially savvy and a connector, what are you doing today? How is the lifestyle you have today supporting the life you think is somehow going to materialize for future you? If you are, wasting, I don't want to say wasting, if you are spending time in friendships that are essentially an obligation and you derive no joy from that relationship, what do you think is happening? What do you think is going to happen to your joy, your overall life satisfaction and well-being to be in friendships that are toxic, are not good for you, but you're like, make those decisions for future you right now. If you want more friendships, you're going to have to initiate, engage people, be brave and bold in those ways for future you, right? So I hate to take it there, but I'm just saying, so do what you can to get in touch with future you. 2 exercises. I shouldn't even be giving you this, but 2 exercises. One is you can write a letter to yourself from future you on a certain topic. And another is, I know it sounds corny, you can put on that age filter here in TikTok and talk to the future you that pops up. I know how corny that sounds. I know. But do it. Because then you'll realize that she is you. And you are her. You know what I'm saying?
Please send love and caring right now.
For those of you a little bit more scientifically minded, because we can hear some individuals going, well, what is exactly the rate at which these parallel realities are actually shifting? And in fact, your scientists actually already know what the rate is, but they don't actually know that what they have labeled as the rate actually is the rate of shifting. They call it Planck time. For those who are familiar, the idea is there is in your scientific nomenclature a thing called Planck length, which is very, 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 very small. You want to know how small? All right. If you take what you call in your reality an atom, one atom, and you wish to measure the diameter of that atom. Now, you all know an atom is very small, yes? All right. If you want to measure the diameter of that atom in Planck lengths, so many Planck lengths, and you did it by measuring 1 Planck length every second, the amount of time it would take you to go from one side of that atom to the other would be 10 million times 14 billion. That's how small a Planck length is. So, Planck time is the amount of time it takes for light to travel 1 Planck length. So that is a very small increment of time. That is the rate at which parallel realities per second are going through you and your consciousness. That's why you don't notice it. It's a very seemingly smooth and unbroken rate of shifting.
Oh my God! Please love yourself and others.
Hey guys, this is a message to the ones that feel like their faith is like stagnant. It feels like it's in limbo. It just feels like, where is God? But I'm here to share with you that God is with you. He is for you, and He's not against you. Matter of fact, what He did from the start, just know that God will finish it. No matter how many times we got distracted, no matter how many times, we left the path that He was leading us to, He will finish it one way or the other. And just know, don't forget the things that He has done before in your life. You ever have those testimonies that God has done things in your life and you always remember? Remember those things, remember Him, and know that He can do it again, once more. He is here, guys. He is with you. And, just like the day that He pulled you from the grave and He gave you another chance at life when you were down and out, know that He can do that again. Whatever circumstances, whatever trials you are facing right now, know that God is there with you. Just believe. Just believe. Seek Him. Follow Him. Get into the Word of God. I just encourage you to read the Word of God and watch God speak to you. Go into it with an honest heart, seek Him with your full heart, and just read and see what you hear. See how He speaks to you. Because when you read the Word, you're actually reading and you're hearing His voice as you read. Because the Word is Jesus. So just know He is speaking to you when you read. I just encourage you to draw closer to Him, draw nigh, and know that God is going to be there. He says, the ones that seek Him will find Him. He will meet you halfway. But a lot of times we get distracted. I get distracted too. But I tell you, from the moment that you turn your eyes off the things that are not of Him and then back onto Him, that connection, it's like, now He's got your attention, you see? And that's all He's wanting. He's just wanting your attention, and He wants to fix your problems. The devil's, he sets up all these snares and stuff, and he's a liar. guys. Don't listen to him. And know that God wants to take all your problems. He wants to mend your broken hearts, and he wants to fix your issues. And don't let the devil say different. Stop listening to him and start listening to God, guys. Like I said, he's here right now. And I'm going to even say confidently, from the time that you stop watching this video, that you will see his presence. I pray that his presence, the increased presence, will be on you tonight when you sleep and when you wake up tomorrow, that you will have, I like to call them God wings. You know, those the wings that we need, right? That ignites our faith to keep our hearts glowing. And you know, even through the bad times, you know, guys, that it's good to praise him through the good and bad. You know, we just have that mindset, you know, knowing that he's always with us, guys, right? It's no longer that we live, but it's Christ that lives us in us now. So I hope this helps you. I hope this encourages you. Don't give up. Let go and let God. He is with you. He is for you. I love you guys in the name of Jesus. Believe on him. Believe he is coming to you soon. I love you guys. Peace.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, but definitely a lot of luck. Oh, that is interesting.
Did you know that million has 6 zeros? What about billion? Billion has 9 zeros. Trillion. Trillion has 12 zeros. Zeros or zeros are acceptable. Sextillion. Sextillion has 21 zeros. What about decillion? Decillion has 33 zeros. And last but not the least is centillion. Centillion has 303 zeros. Thanks for watching and follow for more.
Yo, thanks for watching, man. I send out of centillion ram to you. It's the one with many centillion, yeah. Much centillion ram to you, man. You are loved and respected. You see, watching up to this far is some good gesture, man, and it's wonderful. Much love to you. May the universe reward you accordingly and generously. And if you are going through hard times, maybe in life or whatever circumstances you are going through, don't worry. Good things are coming your way, man. Peace be with you and love, all good vibes. Till we meet next time, man. Goodbye.